What is up, YouTube? It's your boy, The Walk 71, replaced with a 4, and I'm here with another wrestling review for you all. I know it's a little later. People had stuff to do yesterday. I barely even caught the pay-per-view itself. I had to actually rewatch, like, not even the whole pay-per-view. I wasn't going to do that because there was a lot of matches on this show that was just like, I'm not watching this ever again. And this is what this review might sound like for a few of those matches. I'm just going to kind of speed through them or, like, you know, talk about it for a brief second and then keep it pushing because it really doesn't require me to put effort and time and thought into some of these matches because I don't think the writers and bookers put any effort, thought, or anything into some of these matches. But it's whatever. First match of the pay-per-view on the pre-show, we got the WWE 24/7 Championship match. I think this might be, I don't know, I could be tweaking, but this could be the first time we've seen the 24/7 title be defended on a pay-per-view, like in an actual match and not like a backstage segment or you know, everybody chases our truth around, which they did on the pre-show. Funny enough, they're still doing that. There was like an actual very entertaining part of the match. It was at the beginning of the match where R-Truth, you know, he brought back the little Jimmy gimmick, you know, his invisible friend or whatever. So this time Drew Gulak basically, you know, brings little Jimmy to him. He has a whole secret handshake with little Jimmy and all types of stuff. And then as soon as that happens, he kicks little Jimmy and sends him throughout the Thunderdome. And that just sent R-Truth into a blazing rage. And then after that, the match was just a match. R-Truth got offense in. Drew Gulak ended up getting a little bit of offense in. And then basically R-Truth went like Cena mode. Hit an attitude adjustment, all types of crazy stuff. But he ended up, R-Truth ended up winning with the jackknife, and won the match. It was cool. I mean, it was very entertaining. I'll say that. The Drew Gulak part was very, very entertaining. It was more entertaining. It was more entertaining than I thought it was gonna be when they first, what's the word? When they, it was more entertaining than what I thought it was going to be when they first announced the match, basically. I like that they did that part with Drew Gulak punt little Jimmy, kind of like when Snitsky punt Lita's baby. That was pretty fun. So after that, they just did a, you know, the 24/7 title chase where we just take all the people we don't use and just have them chase after the title. Drew Gulak went on a pre-show panel and said John Cena sucks, so now he's going to get buried by John Cena. So after that, we open up with the first of three Hell in a Cell matches. And this one being a match that did need to be inside of the cell. We have the I Quit Hell in the Cell match for the WWE Universal Championship. Jey Uso challenging his cousin Roman Reigns, with Roman Reigns picking up the victory, of course. So last month we had Jey versus Roman for the first time. Classic match. To me, that could be match of the year almost. At least in a WWE standard, that's match of the year. I don't think WWE is going to produce any match better than the match they had produced last month at Clash of Champions. From the storytelling to just the, you know, all of that, everything. It was just amazing. I loved it. And it felt like with this, they were trying to copy that. And there was some stuff that they hit on, and then there was some stuff they most certainly missed on when it came to this. First of all, the miss is putting this inside the Hell in a Cell. The Hell in a Cell was barely even used in this match. Like, if this was just a regular I Quit match, there would be no difference between this match. Like, the cage was pointless. Like, it was cool when Jey Uso had to go do the suicide dives and he was able to kind of push Roman into the cage. That was cool. But I mean, other than that, they were literally just beating the fuck out of each other themselves. Roman hit like 2 spears on Jey Uso, and Jey Uso was refusing to quit. And Roman was pretty much telling him, come on, man, quit now, because look, I can't be responsible for what happens after. And earlier tonight they had revealed the consequences, because before on TV they were saying that basically the Usos, Rikishi, and everybody from that part of the family is kicked out of the family, but then it was changed to where Jey Uso is going to become Roman Reigns' servant, if he quits and that's happened. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see on Friday for SmackDown. That was cool. Jey Uso, after he was selling, he eventually started getting his own flurry of offense, hit a Uso splash for a near fall. But then eventually there was a strap. So then it turned into a Samoan strap match inside of a I Quit match, inside of a Hell in a Cell match. And Jey Uso was just talking at work. He called that man a bitch while hitting him with the strap. He kept hitting that boy with the strap, but it didn't work. He tried to choke Roman out with the strap, but that ain't work. And it only means bad things for Jey. So once that happened, Roman decided to do that. He started beating him up with it. Then the referee is trying to get involved, and you know, whenever a referee gets involved in a Roman match, Roman starts to get pissed off. And what he did in this match to this referee was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I chuckled ridiculously because of it. So after that, Roman says, all right, okay, so you don't want to, all right, hits that man with a third spear. And then he said, like I said, whatever I do after this, I am not responsible for. And basically, he hit the drive-by, drop kick on Jey Uso, and then he put stairs in front of Jey Uso and did it again. So Jey Uso is just selling death, but he never says I quit. Roman even put Jey Uso in the, I guess this is his new finisher, I guess, the guillotine. He even put Jey Uso in a guillotine, but Jey Uso still wouldn't quit. He pretty much threw everything and the kitchen sink at Jey Uso. So once Roman had hit the second drive-by drop kick on Jey Uso, the referee was like, look, he's out. I'm about to call it. And then Roman is telling the ref, hey, bro, hey, don't call him, man. He got to say it. Hey. And then he was like, no, he said Jey Uso is out. And then this man, Roman, said, no, you're out. This dude took the referee and threw that man out the ring. Now, if he would have threw him into the cage, I would have been crying. He threw the referee out. And then somehow, because throughout this entire pay-per-view, it seems like they never locked the damn door for the cage, for the cell. So, apparently, once that happened, a whole nother referee came in, and he was about to put hands on the ref. Then the producers start coming out, and the quote-unquote WWE officials. So, I saw Adam Pearce, Jamie Noble, and I think that was Pat Buck. And they came into the ring, and Roman left the ring, and he closed the door. So, I thought, oh, man, Roman about to kill everybody in here. That didn't happen. Jimmy Uso came in because Roman was about to basically plant the steel steps because he threw it into the ring. He was about to plant it into Jey Uso's chest and basically just kill him. And then Jimmy Uso came in. He was like, stop. He said, what's wrong, dog? We could fix this. Yada, yada, yada. This man, Roman, even started crying, yo. He had tears in his eyes, okay? I'm like, yo, how are you able to just cry on command like that? You was just beating the crap out your cousin. Now you crying. Basically crying. It looks as though, like, they about to reunite. Nope, he puts Jimmy Uso in a guillotine. Roman ain't shit, man. I love it. I love this character. He puts Jimmy Uso in the guillotine. Jey Uso finally starts to, like, gain consciousness, and he sees that his brother is being put in the guillotine. And instead of, like, just using his brother to get to the championship, because I mean, if that was me and I saw my brother getting choked out, but I have the opportunity to win the title, I'm gonna go do something to the man so I can get the title. I'm not about to quit to give up on the match, because no, motherfucker, cause then what does that accomplish? So Jimmy Uso is in the guillotine by Roman, so it causes Jey Uso to say I quit, and the match is over with, and it leaves Jimmy and Jey in the ring. Roman celebrates with a smirk on his face. You got the Wild Samoans on the stage celebrating Roman. They officially gave him, I guess, like a necklace or something, something in their heritage. So I guess that's the official crowning of him becoming the tribal chief. He hugs his father, hugs his uncle. He holds up the title, and then it's a shot of the Usos in the ring just looking so disappointed and upset, especially Jey Uso, because he literally just lost the match, and now he's gonna have to be Roman Reigns' servant. So we're gonna have to see what happens from there. They're probably just gonna become a team or something. I don't know. So after that, we got Jeff Hardy versus Elias. To say I cared about this match would be an understatement. I say that a lot on here, but I really didn't care about this match. I mean, literally what happened was on was it the draft episode of Raw? Yeah, the draft episode of Raw, Elias returned by striking Jeff Hardy with the guitar. And then he had a concert. Jeff Hardy was going to hit him with the guitar, but he missed. So now we got the match itself. I really couldn't even tell you what happened in this match because I really didn't care. Because it's just like, I don't know what it was. I just had no interest in this match happening. And I could, because, well, for the ending indicates that we're going to get another match, which, oh my God, we can't never just end shit. We got to continue it. Golly, that's what WWE does. They just let it continue shit because we still got the Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins feud from May all the way to now. So it's no telling how far this feud will go. But basically, we're going to get to the end because I don't even feel like talking about it. They get to the outside basically. It looks like Jeff Hardy's about to go for a swanton bomb off of the top ring post to the outside on Elias. Elias tries to grab the guitar, but instead, Jeff Hardy gets the guitar and he hits Elias with it, and that's the match. It ends in a DQ, so it was, it's cool. It's whatever. It is what it is, I guess. We're gonna probably get another match on Monday Night Raw. But I don't care. And then this next match, I really ain't care. Oh my gosh, I don't even care. I don't even want to go over it because it was just it was a whatever match. We had Otis versus The Miz. The winner of this match gets the Money in the Bank briefcase. The match itself was what it was. We had John Morrison on The Miz's side and Tucker on Otis's side throughout the match. John Morrison would try to get involved to either distract the ref or hit Otis while the ref is distracted by The Miz or anything else. Get towards the end of the match. It looks like they're about to use the Money in the Bank briefcase on Otis, but instead Tucker takes it and he hits Otis with it. So that's another tag team WWE is breaking up once again. Oh my gosh, it seems like at this point Vince doesn't even want a tag team division. He wants tag team champions so he can say he has them, but he doesn't actually want a tag team division. So after getting hit with that, The Miz was able to get the pinfall and win the match. That was that. The Miz is now Mr. Money in the Bank. If you would have told me that in 2016, I would actually be somewhat excited, but I really don't care now because, like, The Miz, I don't know, maybe I feel like The Miz has kind of ran his course, or at least this character has ran its course. Like, he hasn't been involved in a major storyline since, Bray Wyatt for the Universal title, and that was, December of last year? Wow, that was last year, the last time The Miz was, like, involved in something. When they brought him back, yeah, he snagged him a tag team title with John Morrison, but it meant absolutely nothing because, Vince doesn't care about tag teams, so they was just holding it until the New Day got it back so they could add on to their reign. The Miz, Mr. Money in the Bank, so now we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to live through another Miz reign, and yeah, that's cool, I guess, but it would much better mean something if it was, in 2016, 2017, when he was actually like when people actually liked him and he was actually doing like important stuff. Now he's just kind of just being The Miz with John Morrison, and they're just kind of like two 30-year-olds trying to act like they're 20, basically. It's whatever. The Miz is Mr. Money in the Bank. I never saw Otis cashing in at any point to begin with, unless they wanted to use the unwritten rule that maybe tag teams can use the Money in the Bank briefcase, but that's not the case. So The Miz is Mr. Money in the Bank. See where that goes. Tucker cut a promo after basically saying that he gave Otis everything. Without him, Otis can't even tie his shoes and all of this, but it's like, you really about to have them feud? Why didn't you just keep Tucker on SmackDown? Because Tucker and Otis are on two different shows, so it's like this feud can't really continue. And I don't even know what they're going to do with Otis now. I think he's probably just going to be in that comedic role, kind of like what, Santino was doing. He might win him a few mid-card titles, but, he's there for the kids, basically. And I think that's what Otis is going to be doing. Tucker, he probably just be, I don't know what Tucker's going to do. He might join The Miz and Morrison. Who knows? I guess we're going to have to wait till Monday. But that was that. After that, we got our second of three three Hell in a Cell matches. This one being for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Sasha Banks versus Bayley. This Hell in a Cell match, honestly, between all three of them, I enjoyed this one the most because it was between Sasha Banks and Bayley. This match was fire though. I enjoyed it. Sasha Banks seemed like she had like almost all the offense, and then like eventually she would sell for Bayley. That's what this match felt like. I felt like all the highlights of this match was Sasha. Sasha doing running knees into the cage. She's doing meteoras off the top rope, she's just doing meteoras into shit, and it's crazy because she must have the strongest knees possible to be doing all that, because after like one meteora or running double knee into the cage, I'm done, bro. I'm not doing that again. And she did it like 5 times in this match. There was one cool spot. It was a lot of stuff that happened in this match, and like I'm going off of memory instead of like making notes like a professional. So I'm just gonna go with, I guess, just stuff I see, I can remember. There was a lot of kendo stick shots from Sasha Banks. Bayley came out with this like street fight attire, which I thought added to the match because it was just kind of like, you know, she's there for war. She came out with the chair, and I think it's the same chair she used on Sasha when she like took her out, and before she even got in it, the chair was like kicked out before the sale closed, so she wasn't able to get the chair to use it. So then Sasha started off with just a flurry of offense, and then, you know, eventually Bayley got some offense, and she had a Bayley to you know, her old finisher. I'm not even about to sit up here and try saying it. She hit that on the chairs for a near fall. She hit her new finisher on the outside for a near fall. There was something cool she was going to set up for her because she finally was able to get access to that chair, and she set up this like what else did she do? She did I think a Bayley to Bayley on this ladder that she set up on like a set of chairs. Basically like the chairs is like holding the ladder for a bridge. And it looks as though she was about to do a elbow drop with the chair on the elbow onto Sasha on the ladder, but Sasha moved out the way. And then eventually it transitioned into Sasha putting in offense again. She was able to take the chair, and the chair said 1-0 on it. And when she put Bayley in the bank statement, she used the chair and put her head through the chair, and she put her in the bank statement, and then she started stepping on the chair, and it forced Bayley to tap out. And there was actually a shot I saw that was actually interesting. When Bayley was tapping out, the chair actually was on the camera in position to say 0 and 1, which was actually interesting because that's like what happened to Bayley in the cell. This was her first Hell in a Cell match, and she ended up going 0 and 1 because she lost to Sasha. So that was pretty cool. Sasha ends up winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. This match was decent. It wasn't the best women's Hell in a Cell match. That still goes to Becky and Sasha from last year. I think that's gonna be the best. That's gonna be like the most talked about women's Hell in a Cell match for years, because that was better than the first one. And usually people talk about the first one, but that match was fire. I ain't even gonna cap. That was a match. That was like, I might have to go back and watch that match. It was that good of a match. Between Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks last year at Hell in a Cell. That was a good match. This match was fine though. Like it did its purpose. Sasha Banks won. She's now officially a Grand Slam champion in WWE. She won all the titles. She won the NXT title, both Raw and SmackDown women's titles, tag team titles. So she's pretty much decent now. She's good to go. Just gotta win her Money in the Bank, gotta win the Royal Rumble, and then she's complete pretty much. Unless they bring back King of the Ring, and she gotta win that. But it was cool. I'm glad to see Sasha is back on top. It's great. I prefer her as a heel, but you know, this babyface character could work, I guess. So after that, we got a match for the WWE United States Championship. We got Slapjack. T-Bar. We got Slapjack versus Bobby Lashley. Basically this match, because, you know, if you've been watching Raw, the Hurt Business and Retribution have been beefing, so they decided to just do one member from each group face each other. So Bobby Lashley decided to go out to the ring. He's defending the U.S. title, and the Hurt Business picked Slapjack, aka Shane Thorne from TM61. The match itself was a match. It happened. Bobby Lashley did stuff slapjack this stuff, did a cannonball into the corner, but then eventually got caught with the hurt lock and immediately tapped out. So that makes Retribution 0-2 now. God, they're so trash. And basically after that, I guess it was a trap because Retribution came out and they started trying to jump Bobby Lashley, and they weren't even successful at that because the Hurt Business came out, and then there was just a stare down between the Hurt Business and Mustafa Ali. So there's that. I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. So after that, we get to the main event. The final of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches. For the WWE Championship, we have Randy Orton challenging the champion, Drew McIntyre. They finally let my boy Drew main event. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm so... What's the word I'm looking for? I'm so shocked that they let Drew finally main event, but then not shocked because I realized, oh, he's dropping the title. There's no way you've had Drew. He's been WWE champion since WrestleMania, and you're telling me you're finally just now gonna let him main event? Money in the Bank, okay, that's an excuse. That was the Money in the Bank match. That's the name of the pay-per-view. Backlash, that was at the greatest wrestling match of the world or whatever the fuck that shit was. Yeah. He could have main evented that. Couldn't even main event SummerSlam. He lost to The Fiend and Braun Strowman. Extreme Rules, he lost to Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. They just did my man's bogus. It seems as though they're really starting to just, emphasize that because SmackDown is on Fox now, that is the A show now. And now Raw is kind of being treated like the B show because they know no matter what, they'll be on USA. They won't always be on Fox because Fox could literally be like, I don't like these ratings, we're dropping you. And then that's that. And then they got to go back to USA Network. But anyways, we get to the match itself. It's cool. Randy Orton tried to sneak up on Drew and attack him, but Drew saw it coming. They start brawling on the outside before he ended up closing the cage door and the match started. Drew was looking very dominant at the beginning. He was tossing Randy Orton around, pushing his face into the cage. He hit him with a belly-to-belly suplex through a table, which I thought was pretty cool. It looked like he was about to set up for a Claymore kick. Randy Orton gets out of the way and actually hits his leg with the chair, and then he starts getting on offense. He's talking at work while he's beating him up. He's pushing his face into the cage, all types of stuff. It was great. Very aggressive. Very aggressive from these two. I actually enjoyed that of this match, that these two were like legit trying to murder each other, and I feel like that is the purpose of the Hell in a Cell, not because we have an October pay-per-view and that fits the description of Halloween, so we have to do Hell in a Cell matches. Like this in a, like, the crazy part is about this pay-per-view is that all 3 of the Hell in a Cell matches I feel like qualify for Hell in a Cell matches, but at least 1 to 2 of these matches didn't have to be inside of Hell in a Cell. At least one of them didn't. But the Sasha Bayley, that could have been in there, but that was going off of like a month of actually building it. It was just a slow burn this whole time, and then they just kind of did it. This one, though, this feud has been going on for like 3 months straight, so like I could see it being a Hell in a Cell. It was cool. They were aggressive. We get to a point, they've just basically been fighting each other all around. They get to the outside of the cage because it seems like they never locked the cage door. They fight outside. Randy Orton climbs up to the top of the cage like a madman, and it forces Drew to climb up there too. So now they're fighting on the top of the cage because we didn't get that spot any other time of the night. So they started fighting on top. They end up back, climbing back down before Drew McIntyre is knocked off the side of the cage and goes through the announcer table. So now he's just selling death. My man's just coughing out blood. And then Randy Orton is basically just slowly dragging his man back into the cage. And looks like he's about to set up for the RKO. Drew counters it into a pin as a callback to their SummerSlam match, because that's how he won the match at SummerSlam. He had reversed it into a crucifix pin. And that's what he did, but Orton got out of it. And as soon as he got out of it, Drew hits him with a Claymore kick. But Orton rolls out of the ring, basically. So once that happened, Drew brings him back into the ring. He's setting up for the Claymore kick. It looks as though he's about to hit it. Randy Orton moves out the way, and he hits Drew McIntyre with an RKO. And I'm like, oh shit, he's about to go. He's about to win the title. They go 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton is your new WWE champion. I'm not even mad about it. Usually I'd be upset if I saw like, somebody that's been a 20-time WWE champion, they just win the title because screw it, right? Randy Orton earned it because Randy Orton has been so complacent for these past few years and so just boring and just seemed like he wasn't into it. But when he made this like official heel turn and he just started hitting on all cylinders when it came to this, he's been like close to the best like TV character on WWE TV besides Roman, or at least on Raw. He's been the best like character thing going. I just didn't like that they was just overdrawing the Edge and Randy feud. Like, oh my god, y'all was killing it. And it seems as though they about to go again at WrestleMania. And I really don't want to see that shit, man. I'm ready for these niggas to retire. I'm not even gonna lie. But anyways, Randy Orton is the now 14-time world champion. There's a lot of good matchups because we're gonna get another Drew Randy. We'll probably get that in like a TLC match, so that should be interesting because Survivor Series is coming up. So we get that in a TLC match. We got Randy and Keith Lee. That'll be interesting because Keith Lee does have a victory over Randy. We have to, at some point, do Randy and The Fiend because it's for the same title that Randy Orton beat the Bray Wyatt for at WrestleMania. It's the same title, the WWE Championship. You have so much you could go off of because of that. They had a whole feud from Mania to Payback, all for the WWE title. Randy Orton was in the Wyatt family. He betrayed them, stole everything from him, set the man's house on fire, destroyed the whole entire Wyatt family. Like, there wasn't a Wyatt family after that. There was never a Wyatt family again because of that. And then he took the man's title at WrestleMania. So that's a feud they really have to go, especially since they didn't turn the Fiend face and Randy Orton is heel. I don't want to see Randy and Edge at WrestleMania because we saw them at WrestleMania 36. That match was, oh my god, that match was such a chore to get through because it was so long. The match at Backlash wasn't bad. It was just like, I'm over this. Like, I don't want to see y'all wrestle again. Like, WWE knows how to kill your interest in anything because they are just constantly just show the same thing. But we'll see what happens. Overall, I mean, this pay-per-view was whatever. They've kind of been missing with these pay-per-views now. It's crazy. It was short. I'll give them that because it was probably less than 7 matches because they had 3 cell matches, so that takes time. The pay-per-view overall, it was okay. I mean, I don't think I don't know. How do I describe this pay-per-view? Because it wasn't all the way terrible, but it wasn't the best. And WWE has actually been producing some of, I wouldn't say their best pay-per-views, but they've been improving their pay-per-views since the last time we saw pay-per-views and before Corona, basically. Most of their pay-per-views have been hitting during this COVID era because they had to keep them short and they've just doing cinematic matches and all types of stuff. And now they didn't transition to just doing regular matches with the Thunderdome, and they were still hitting. Payback was fine, SummerSlam was fine for the most part, Clash of Champions was okay, and this was just it was meh. Hell in a Cell was meh. But anyway, guys, you know what to do. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Do what you do to support me on all my social media links down in the description below. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.